pass somebody suffering on the streets, part of us gets sick, and we may not realize that. But it means we all suffer in this. And that's what the Barrack Plan is all about. It's not just about supporting those who are vulnerable in our communities who might be homeless, but it's also to help the community so that we actually can have healing here in Kenora. As many of you will know, it's almost a year ago that we announced the temporary closure of the only emergency shelter here in Kenora. And so one organization alone, one community alone is not going to solve this. It didn't work in the 1970s, it certainly didn't work in the 1980s, and it is going to be working in 2020. And so with that, it is vitally important that we do this together. And I want to thank the Barrack Clan, the vests in the audience. You are the real helpers. You're going to make a difference in this and helping all of us with us. What we're doing here today, the announcement, that's the easy part. You're the real heroes. And I know there are many of you who have helped. I think part of the Winnipeg Barrack Clan are part of here as well. Thank you for being here too. And I also want to say thank you to all our municipalities, to the township of Pickle Lake. Pickle Lake is many hours away, but Pickle Lake has contributed resources to make this happen here in Kenora, as has Ignace, as has the township of Deer Falls, as has the municipality of Red Lake. The municipality of Toluca has a homelessness challenge as well, and yet they have contributed money so that this can happen as well. The city of Dryden, the city of Kenora, the township of Soon-Narrows, Nestor Falls. So it is a sign that all of our community leadership has come together and says, we're done talking about this. What we need to do is actually enable our helpers in our communities to give them the resources and the tools they need to do the job. And so what is being announced here today is one piece of the puzzle. So Barrack Clan isn't going to solve it all, but it's a very important piece of the puzzle to let our vulnerable population know that they're cared for, that there's help, that you don't have to be in crisis. You don't have to be in crisis on the street for lights and sirens to be called so that you get help, that we actually have boots on the ground who can help somebody, so that it's not always our police officers that have to respond to it. It's not always our EMS that has to respond to it, because by that point it's almost too late. Because sometimes all somebody needs is just help to get from this place to another place. And so, with that, to have our First Nation leadership here too, and our municipal leadership, it says that this is about reconciliation, about partnership, and putting everything on the table that we have. All the reasons saying, I have this, you have that, now what can we do with it? Instead of saying, well, this is mine, so we're only going to do things the way we see fit. So, with that, it's my pleasure to be able to, on behalf of the KDSB, and in partnership with Mr. Rickford, the Solicitor General, the Attorney General, and the Province of Ontario, to be a part of this. And then, following today, we're all going to be accountable, all of you as well, who are here to make sure that this works, and that our vulnerable population feels like they're part of the community, that they are not, like, it's almost like we've kind of drawn a line. If you're homeless, you're part of something else, but you're not part of community, and that, to me, has to change. And this is where, if we start from the community and we make people feel like they're part of community, that's what we're going to end homelessness. We all belong. And the other thing too is I think we need to let Mother Earth do some of the work too. We need to get out of the way and enable her, because that's what she did for so many years. And so with that, thank you for being here, Miigwech, and I really appreciate all of your support.